fact, before we go, I better show you. Right, it's Tabata Tuesday, and you might have forgotten how to do a Turkish get-up. I certainly haven't. You shouldn't have. I'm going to show you. We're going to practice, as in you're going to practice in your own time. What I want you to do is watch me if you're not sure, or watch me if you need a bit of a refresher. And then instead of just standing there watching me continuously, I'm only going to do 2 or 3 reps. I want you to practice. I'm going to call it out. So, Turkish get-up. Whatever arm I'm using first. So I'm lying flat. I've got my shoulder pinned to the floor, okay, so I'm not rounding that shoulder. Whatever arm I'm using the same foot to plant. Plant it like a glute bridge. Don't plant it straight in line with your bum. I want you to come just to the outside of your bum, actual bum. Lock the arm out. Don't have a lazy hand. Lock the wrist out too. I'm gripping this kettlebell and I'm crushing it, okay? I'm not just being lazy and half-arsely holding it with open finger. Crush the hell out of it. I'm keeping my eye on this thing from start to finish. I'm going to drive up, punching, okay? That's explosive. It has to be explosive. That's how we get these heavier kettlebells off the ground. Then this hand, I'm going to push it in, and then I'm going to bridge up. If you've got big, spongy 6-inch platform shoes on, this is where you're going to end up going like that and getting stuck, okay? So I would recommend take them off. Get into that lunge position. I feel stable, I feel balanced, straighten myself up. I'm working all these obliques now. Continue looking up, drive up from a lunge, stand up tall, squeeze the butt, and then go back down in the reverse order. So back onto the knee, back onto the hand, bridging, pushing through, sitting in the butt, drop to the elbow, drop down to the floor, and I'll show you that, everybody. From the other side, I'll show you from this way. So my feet are first and you can see what's going on. So practice. If you need to practice, practice. If you know how to do them, you should be doing them right now. This is part of your warm-up, everyone. Here it is from another angle. So, good solid grip, arm locked out, shoulder pulled in. I'm not rounding this shoulder, I'm pulling it in. Planting the foot as close to my bum as I can, but just outside of it. This other arm, out at 45 degrees. I'm going to punch up fast, explosively. If you're half-arsed or give it 50%, you're not going to get up unless your kettlebell's as light as a feather. This hand, push it in, okay, and then bridge up. Then, the higher a bridge, the easier it is to get this foot underneath. All the time, so you can see I'm not rushing this. Break it in. I don't want you to transition if you lose balance. So I'm down, check it, down, let it flow, okay? This thing will flow. This thing will flow once you get to know what you're doing. Don't try to be fast if you don't understand the movements. If you feel you're losing balance, pause, balance yourself, and then transition into the next part. It goes wrong when people try to be smart arses. Big heavy kettlebell and try and go real fast, okay? No one's watching you except me, and I'm not impressed. Right, okay? So don't go hurting yourself. Right, let's do this. 30 seconds, and we're starting tonight's circuit. Oh! Right, 25 seconds. Turkish get-ups, we're going to be doing 20 seconds on the left arm, followed by 20 seconds on the right arm. If you've got a fancy watch on or a watch in general, I'd just flick it so that it's underneath that way. Boom, you're not going to ruin it. So I'm going to start off with my left arm. I'm starting in 10 seconds, everybody. Make sure you're fast with this, as in the transitions. So up onto the left arm, 3, 2, 1, punch it, punch it. So I'll try not to talk too much, because you should. There's no point in me telling you all the sequence, because I'll be going at a different speed to you and you'll be going to a different speed to me. All I'll say is, make sure you always keep your eyes, relax, make sure, change arms. Make sure you always keep your eyes on that kettlebell. Stand by, go. 20 seconds is not long. It'll give beginners enough time to get 1 rep done. It'll give advanced maybe enough time to get 2. If you're lucky. There you go. So there's your target. If you're very familiar, you should be getting 2. If you're a bit slower, 1, okay? But don't rush it if you're not feeling like you know what you're doing. Go. So all that happens when it gets faster is that you blend it all together, but I'm still keeping that control. Okay, it's still all separate movements. It goes wrong when people try to come down too fast. or go up too fast. Change. Okay, so this will get you warm. But what you'll realise now is, these will work you. Great exercise. So these exercises, this exercise should I say specifically, is great for ironing out any weak areas, okay? So any weak links in your body, whether it's the shoulders, whether it's the core, it'll start to iron it all out. It's a very functional exercise. So a lot of us struggle to stabilize the shoulders. We don't have the strength or the mobility in the shoulder. And what you'll learn with this is how much it's working those shoulders. Keep crushing that kettlebell. Don't let that wrist go cocked. We keep it straight. Keep working hard, everybody. This is good. Okay, stand by. It's powerful, but it's controlled power. If you're feeling good, speed it up. But remember, all those separate movements are still separate. I've no idea what we're at, so we're just going to keep going until we're finished. So one thing's for sure, if you weren't warm before, you certainly should be now. It's a good exercise if you pick a light kettlebell to do as part of a warm-up routine, or even not use a kettlebell. But also, if you pick a heavy kettlebell, it's one hell of an exercise for building strength and power through every plane of movement. Because when you think about it, it's exactly what's happening. We're always keeping that hand punching towards the sky. Oh, thank goodness. Right, we're done. Okay, so that's where beginners, if you picked a light kettlebell, you probably only thing you would have struggled with was maybe coordination. Those of you starting to pick heavier kettlebells, you would struggle with that in terms of shoulders will start getting tired. It's hard. The hardest bit a lot of people do when them, as I catch my breath, they struggle to get up off the floor. And it's that sit up, it needs to be explosive. You need to punch that thing and get up onto the elbow as fast as you can. So this is where people go wrong. They try to go, and they just try and do this movement. It needs to be this arm. Punch it in. I'm using this arm so much to get up. A lot of people don't. And then to go from here to here, it's still a punch up, but I'm driving this hand as hard as I can into the ground. Okay, that's where the power comes from. Usually once you've got to that part, most people can get that heavier weight up. They just find it difficult getting up off the floor, okay? It's hard to be explosive and powerful, but with that movement, if you're not, you won't get up if it's heavier. Anyway, you pick a lightweight, you'll learn the movement pattern. Once the movement pattern feels familiar to you, that's when you go up to a weight that's challenging to get off the floor. And when you hit that weight, that's when you're going to start learning the movement and the technique required for it. Oh, anybody got a spare set of lungs? 30 seconds and we're going to start. Right, kettlebell swings and bench dips. Oh, where have I put my chair, my coffee table? Think fast, go get it. You've got 22 seconds. Bench dips. You know bench dips. And then we're good old classic kettlebell swings. Everybody's disappeared. Okay, you better be fast. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, come on. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Kettlebell swings. So think about those toes. Let's start getting a bit more advanced. Well, thinking about those toes. I want you driving those toes in. That whole foot stays flat and firmly on the floor. You're pushing into those feet as you snap the hips forward. When I snap my hips forward, what am I squeezing tight? My glutes. Don't forget that part. I'm squeezing that butt as hard as I can. We shouldn't be rolling on the feet. Bench dips next. Stand yourself by. Go. So I'm keeping a proud chest. I don't want my shoulders to start rounding out the joint. Move the feet further away. Down and up. Down and up. Okay, so it's almost double the time going down. One powerful punch up. Rather than blitzing these out like this. Bring a bit of time under tension, a bit more control to it. Kettlebell swings coming at you. I'll do them side on this time in case you are watching. So squeeze the butt. Let's go. That's how your breathing should be. Big breath in, big breath out. Don't try to breathe like you're going for a run. This is powerful. All out and in. Squeeze the butt, keep the chest proud. You should feel your butt cheeks working harder than your hammies. If not, you need to work on your glute activation. How do we do that? One way of doing it is mind over matter. Think about the butt. Focus on the butt cheeks as you're squeezing through with those hips. And then make sure you're squeezing the butt cheeks as hard as you physically can on that hip lockout. Our glutes, remember, they're there with the assistance of the hamstrings. It shouldn't be the other way about. We shouldn't be getting our hamstrings working harder than our glutes, but that's often the case. Right, we're ready. 3, 2, 1, hoot. Think about those feet now. Let's start refining these kettlebell swings. Driving the feet into the ground. Whole foot, and nothing but the whole foot. As you're swinging, you should not feel yourself drifting onto your toes or the weight shifting onto the heels. You've just got that foot, and that whole foot jammed into the floor, and it just feels jammed, okay? There's no roll at all, but that's up to you. Don't be lazy with it. It's very easy to be lazy. Let's go for it. Bench dips. I'm in. I'm away. Proud chest, down, 90 degrees, punch, down, punch. So I want you to punch those hands into the bench. Our hands should be about shoulder width apart, just on the outside of your torso. Don't be too wide. Too wide and you'll put a lot of strain on the shoulder. Too narrow and you'll find you'll struggle to even do the exercise in the first place. 3, 2, 1, and I'm away. So squeeze that butt, lock those hips out. And we do that by pushing the feet down into the floor and snapping those hips forward. Make sure you feel that hip snap, snap. Okay, not soft. There should be no soft. We shouldn't be leaning backwards on it, okay? Oh my word. Stand by. Bench dips. Good. Down, up, down, up. And keep that going. Down under control. Punch up powerfully. Make sure your hips are nice and close to the bench. That's another point. As people move their feet out, don't let your hips come away from the bench, because then all you're doing is putting a lot of strain on your shoulders. I think that's us done. So, right, okay, grab a quick rest. Get a drink if you need one. The next exercise is another familiar one that we're building in quite regular. Why are we building it in regular? Because I'm going to lead you on to bigger and better things, that's why. But it all starts with the kettlebell swing. And now we're going to work on our high pulls, which we've not done in a wee while. But I want you to practice these. I want you to start getting these perfect, because soon we're going to be transitioning into the snatch, which I'm going to teach you tonight. I'm going to teach you tonight at the end so you can go and practice it in your own time. But a snatch is literally just from a high pull to a punch, but it happens so fast. Okay, it looks like one movement. But to get that right, you need to be getting the high pull right. So that's why we're practicing it tonight. Pick a kettlebell that you know is challenging for a single arm swing. If you're not sure what a high pull is, well, don't you worry. I'll show you. Right, so we're high pull. It's a single arm kettlebell swing. It's a hip snap, pull, punch. Hip snap, pull, punch. Hip snap, pull, punch. Okay, you've got no time to hesitate. If you try and think about it, oh shit, okay, that's gonna happen. Grip the hell out of it, pull that elbow back high. Okay, that's where you're gonna go wrong. Squeeze the hell out of it, pull it, punch it, stand by. You're doing it on one arm. Go right arm. 3, 2, 1, we're away. Hip snap, pull and punch. Now, when you're doing this, all the same mechanics of that single arm kettlebell swing apply. You keep that body square on. Your body position is exactly the same as it would be on a double-handed swing that we've just done. Pull it out and punch it. Change arms. I'll change the angle this time. Pull it out, punch it. Squeeze the hell out of it. Your weak arm, you're going to have to go. You're going to have to squeeze it even harder. Now, if you're new to this movement, you'll be thinking so much about the pull and punch that you might forget that hip snap. Remember, it's a kettlebell swing. That's what's powering this. Rip it out the sky and punch it back out straight away. If it's going wrong, you're probably not gripping it tight enough, or you're letting that elbow drop and then the kettlebell's going like that, okay? Nice high elbow, stand by. So, that pull and punch. Snap the hips. I want you to think about the hips too. Don't forget, it's a kettlebell swing. Nice high elbow. You know what it's almost like? It's just like a press up. Exact same movement pattern with your hand is a press up. Or for those of you dumbbell bench press, exactly the same. Let's go. I'm just going early. Pull and punch. No hesitation. You're pulling this out. The sky. And then punching it back out. But it's the forces that you're creating and exerting on yourself. That's where it's going to go wrong if you're not gripping it tight. You're not keeping that elbow high. If you're new to this, you'll find that your weaker arm is a lot harder to control. We need to squeeze it more. Okay, that's the only trick I can give you. But more than anything, if you're new to this movement and you're not very good at it, don't go beating yourself up. It takes practice. A kettlebell swing by itself is highly coordinated. Never mind a single arm swing. Never mind a single arm high pull. Okay, so we've got a lot to think about. Even though I'm talking non-stop, I'm concentrating. I know this movement, I've done it enough. But all I'm ever thinking about is that hip snap, okay? I know this part. I can do the high pull part in my sleep now because I've done it long enough, but I'm always thinking consciously, snap my hips, snap my hips, because that is what's bringing this kettlebell up. If you do this wrong, or you don't think about the hip snap, you'll be using your upper body more. Okay, you'll forget the hip snap, relax there. You'll forget the hip snap and then you'll just be doing this. Which you can see, I can do it, but after a couple reps, we're away again. I thought that was us. So, I have got the strength to just do upper body with this, but after a couple reps, I'm going to be blown out. So that's why it's important. Keep that hip snap. That's what brings it up to high level, remember. Not the arms. The arms are just pulling it out of the sky and punching it. The hips, glutes, hamstrings, lower back. That's what's bringing it up to high level. Stand by. Last side, I think. Go. Hip snap, punch and pull. Hip snap, punch and pull. Chest is always square, as in facing forward, as is your pelvis. Don't let this thing throw you off balance. Relax. Good work. Right. Get a rest. So a tough exercise. Again, new to the exercise, use a light kettlebell. It won't be that challenging because you probably just go, woo, no bother. As you learn the movement pattern, you start to get that in your head, use a heavier one and you'll really feel that pull. And when you have to punch, it'll really tire those arms, shoulders and chest out. Okay, so that's where learn the movement on a light kettlebell, learn the technique when the time comes that you can't just go through the motions anymore. You need to hip snap to get it here. Rip and punch. It's a heart raiser next. Put your kettlebell off to the side, you're gonna like this one. 30 seconds, body weight only. I want you working hard. This is circuit 4, okay? We're done after this. Well, done. We've got a mini core finisher, but that's next to nothing, let's be honest. By that point, we're all done. 20 seconds. We're gonna high knee. We're gonna high knee, I'm gonna go quiet. We're gonna do high knees, and we're gonna do lie down stand-ups, okay? Lie down stand-ups. I love them, okay? I don't see why everybody's makes a big deal about them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're away. So it's high knees. I'm standing tall. I'm standing proud. It's not a sprint on the spot, okay? I want you to pull those knees as high as you physically can get them up. And when you do that while maintaining good solid form and posture, you'll feel the core working. Nice and light on the toes. Heels. Heels don't even come into it. I'm staying on the ball of my foot. Stand by for a lie down, stand up. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And if you've done yesterday morning's 10-minute workout, this should feel nice and simple and easy now. Because yesterday, in case you missed it, we've done a lie down, crunch, stand up, tuck jump. Yep, and that's one exercise. Okay, back to high knees. Back to high knees. Keep working on that mobility. Keep working on those ankles and that groin so that you can start doing them the proper way. Go. A lie down stand up should pretty much be squat to depth. A kick out of the feet, which you'll feel the core working massively on. Followed by a sit up into a squat and a stand up. So keep working on those ankles. Keep working on that groin mobility until you can hit a good deep squat, and that is when you're going to feel these better. I'll show you from the side. So I'm squatting down, I'm kicking out, punching onto the feet. When you stand up, make sure you're squeezing that butt. Good, halfway. Oh, that's a heart raiser. That was the aim of the game. Right, high knees, 3, 2, 1, come on, let's go. Let's go. High knees. Up, 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 up. Pull. Okay, I want you to feel that pull. It's not just a lift of the knee, it's a pull of the knee. Imagine you're trying to hit yourself in the chin. Try not to. And drive the arms. And always maintain, oh man, always maintain that height. Okay, don't let that drop. Lie down stand-ups. Let's go. In fact, that just reminded me of that time we'd done an inverted burpee. Can anyone remember the inverted burpee? In fact, I'm pretty sure that was an outdoor exclusive. Oh, the inverted burpee. That just made me think. You'll maybe see that coming soon. Oh, right, let's go. High knees, push it hard. This is the last time we do these. Highest you can. Keep going, keep pulling it up. Nice and light on the toes. And relax. Right, last exercise. Push it hard, okay, come on, let's get it done. Lie down, stand ups. Go for it. I remember the strange looks I was getting when the inverted burpee was demonstrated. Oh, right. Walk around, catch your breath. Let's finish this up with the core finisher. Stand by. Okay. Make sure you can see me. I'm going to be on the floor. Make sure you can see me for the next 4 exercises. Okay? As in, I'm not telling you what they all are. It doesn't work if you have to keep coming up to the camera. And we're starting this. Starting this in 30 seconds. Core finisher. Same format. 4 exercises, 2 run-throughs, 20 on, 10 off. It's still 4 minutes. And then we're done. This will feel like a dodo. We're starting in 15 seconds. This exercise, if you do it right, is tough. It's an elbow plank with the opposite knee being pulled to the opposite elbow. Stand by. Look at my hips. I lift them up only enough to get my knee through, and then I drop them down again, squeezing the butt. Go for it. Don't go fast. Go controlled. Pull it squeeze the butt, pull it up, squeeze the butt. It's a tough one. You do this properly and you're going to feel that core getting thrashed. Keep it going. Yeah. Nice. Okay, next exercise is a V-sit, fast alternative style. So I'm lying down, I'm punching up, changing arms, changing legs each time. Stand by, go. Powerful punch. Think about those Turkish get-ups. A punch off the floor. I want you to get as much of that upper body off the floor as you can. Keep going. Okay, side plank. Doesn't matter what side, but just make sure you make note of it. 5 seconds, a side plank is as simple as this. Onto the elbow, hips through, and go. You're being in a straight line. Don't let the hips sag, push them high. Push the hips forward, don't let them behind you. You're gonna feel these obliques working like hell to stop you sinking. It's a tough one, but you've only got 5 seconds, so you might as well keep holding it. Keep it going. We're nearly there. Relax. So opposite sides, you can just roll over, okay? All I'm doing here. Other side, stand by. Go, okay? You might as well get up, fidget and go. Hips as high as you can, push them through. Hold that solid position. Okay, 10 seconds. Just focus on what you're doing. Push those hips up, push them forwards. Back to the start. Elbow plank, knee to elbow. Stand by. 5, 3, get in the position now. Set up, go. So remember, it's not rushed. I'm pulling that knee high as I can, keeping the elbows in position. Only lifting the core as much as it takes for me to get my knee through and dropping it down again, but squeezing the butt when I do so. If you do this properly and you lift that knee as high as you can, that is a brute of an exercise on the core if you do it properly. Stand by, fast alternative leg raises. Whoa, we're nearly there, everybody. Go. 3 exercises. This being one of them. And then we're finished. Okay, side plank. Stand by. Okay, I'm going to tell you to go now because you get 3 seconds to fidget. That buzzer goes now, and I'm in a good position. Rather than farting about, I want to hold this for 20 seconds in a solid position. Okay, we've got this side to do, we've got the other side to do, and we're finished. Okay, that'll be us done. Great work tonight. 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, change sides. Last 20 seconds of work now. Good. Okay, start farting about. Get yourself up, set up, and go. 20 seconds of quality hold. Push through, push through. Keep pushing those hips up. 5 seconds. And relax. Right, I want you to walk around. 30 seconds to catch your breath. Before you disappear, I'm going to give you a heads up on how to do a snatch. It'll take 2 minutes max. So our circuit is done. By all means, start your cool down or whatever you're in the habit of doing. I am very quickly going to show you how to do this so that you can start playing about with it at home. The key point of this exercise, it's one of the hardest exercises to teach because you can't break it down slowly. It's powerful, it's all out. So if you try to go slow or you hesitate, I'm telling you now, it will not work. So I can't really show you in slow motion. What a snatch is, I'll show you a couple of reps. Just so you can see what's happening. Now pay attention to my hips and my upper back, especially the hips. What movement pattern is this? It's a hip snap, okay? It's the same as a kettlebell swing, but rather than direct the power out here, I'm doing a high pull from the floor, and instead of punching out, I want you to punch vertical. But you can see it happens so fast. If you try to be slow, I'll show you from the front. If you try to be slow, it doesn't work. So it's a high pull, it's a kettlebell hip snap with a high pull, and instead of punching it out, punch it up. So it's like this, okay? punch. So it looks like this. Snap through. The power here is coming from the hips. This arm is doing a bit of a pull, but apart from that, I've got enough power in my hips to get this thing above my head. Remember that. Now, where it goes wrong, people think they know how to do it and they start doing things like this. A clean and a press, but they blend it into something awful where it looks like this. There is no press. There is no press. It is such a fast, powerful movement. The arm's pretty much getting pulled up, and then punched. So think of your high pull. Okay? Pull it in, punch it. Pull it in, punch it. See, instead of punching it out, I want you to punch it up. See that? Back down. Punch it up. Now what's going to happen is you're going to hit that forearm loads. That kettlebell is going to go boom. And you're going to end up with such a sore forearm, bruised, that it's not going to be nice. And you know what I'm going to say to you, don't I? Suck it up. Now, when I first started doing kettlebells, it got to the point where, and this is what people don't realise, they see someone do something and then they start beating themselves up because they can't do it. I remember years ago out in my back garden when I bought my first kettlebell and I was trying to practice how to do the snatch. It got to the point where I couldn't even do it anymore because it was so sore. That kettlebell just hitting it was, ah! Now, I'd done that for ages. It takes time. The only way, I can't teach you how to do it properly. I teach you how to do it, the technique involved, but you'll refine it as you go. The biggest problem people do with this is they grip it so tight that this happens. It becomes straight up over the head, the kettlebell doesn't even move, and then when they get to the top, it slides down, bang! Okay, and that's when you're going to end up hurting yourself. So I'll always say, you've got a good solid grip, I'm ripping it off, but then technique, practice, and confidence comes in, you'll know when to ease that grip off. So this kettlebell, throughout these transitions, should still be able to slide through the arms. That's all I'm hitting you with tonight. I'll show you another couple of reps just so you can get it in your head. As always, practice it with a light kettlebell to start to understand the movement pattern. But on this exercise, more than any exercise, it really is a case of you will not learn how to do it properly until you pick up a kettlebell or try to snatch a kettlebell that you can't just go. So this one's pretty light for me. If you can just go like this, okay? Kettlebell's too light. I want you to learn the technique on a kettlebell that you struggle to get off the floor, because then and only then will you hit these big powerful muscles to get it up, and you'll learn that that hip snap is what gets that snatch up and not your arms. Your arms, remember, they're just directing the power generated from here. I'll show you a couple and then we're done, just so you can get it into your head. So it's from the floor, chest proud, so I'm not picking it up like this. I'm driving the feet, I'm snapping the hips. So it's a kettlebell hip snap, back down, kettlebell hip snap, and back down. Remember, don't think about it too much. If it's thought out, it ain't got time to be thought out, so it's all going to go to pot. I'll show you from the front. 3 reps, and then I am out of here. Punch up. Look at the hips. Snap them forward and rip that kettlebell up, keeping that shoulder in. It's one powerful movement. I urge you now to start practicing it in your own time. Don't practice it when you're seized up cold. Do it at the end of a workout or in your own time whenever you feel you've warmed up. It's a very good exercise to master. It's developing full body power, and it is the ultimate one in which we finish off our build up. Okay, we started off with a swing, single arm swing, transitioned you into a high pull. This is the final one. Thank you very much. Hope you have a good night. And don't worry, I don't expect next time you turn up to be a master of them, although you shouldn't be far off it because you should be practicing. Thank you very much. Have a good night.